What's good, you guys? So today in this video, I'll be telling you about 9 things that you really need to know before you build your first NAS or a server. So let's get started. So the first thing that you really need to know or find out for yourself is why you need a NAS or a server, because this will help you decide all the further things that we're going to discuss, like your OS, your hardware supports, and everything that you really need to know is all dependent upon the usability of your server, or why you need your server, or how you want it to work. Um, if you have figured that out, let's move on to the second step. Um, the one thing that I really regret right now after building my own server is the lack of SATA ports. Yeah, I know it is not a big deal to not have enough SATA ports because you can always use a PCIe expansion card. But trust me, guys, SATA ports on a motherboard are way more cheaper and affordable than buying a separate PCIe expansion card, which costs you way more by just offering you 4 SATA ports, or if you go higher, more. Don't just buy SATA ports directly on your motherboard itself. Speaking of storage, you need to know about the advantages of using an SSD. An SSD is a solid state drive which has way more faster writing speeds than normal hard disk or magnetic disk. You can use your SSD as a cache disk wherein all the data of the entire day can be written on that SSD and can be transferred back to the hard disk when the operation is done. This will increase your writing speeds significantly. And yet again, speaking of storage, your hard disks are the most important part of any server build. If one of the hard disks fails, you will suffer terrible losses because all your data will be gone. So the next thing that I want you to do is set up any sort of RAID except RAID 0. RAID 0 is where there's zero redundancy. But anything above RAID 0 will or must be used because in case of any drive failures, you'll be able to rebuild your data. Use RAID 1 or RAID 5. The next thing is what you want to pay really close attention to. It is a UPS. So to explain you UPS, let's take this example. Say for example, your server is connected to the main lines of your working place and the lights go off or the electricity is no more. Your server will immediately shut down. This is not the right thing to do because your hard disk and your hardware components can get affected and your server will go down immediately. You need to avoid this at any cost. That's why investing in a UPS will save you a ton of time and energy and will be very helpful for you. So the next thing that you have to decide for yourself is to select the right operating system for your needs. You can surely go up with Ubuntu or any other Linux flavors, which will help you build a good enough NAS. You could even consider Windows if that satisfies your needs. But try considering one of the NAS operating systems, which can be like FreeBSD or Unraid, which will surely help you build a better NAS. Speaking more about the hardware, you need to select the right amount of RAM required for your NAS. If in case you decide to run any virtual machines on your NAS, then you need to have enough RAM so that the virtual machine can run sufficiently well. And the next thing that you really need to know about is to choose the right CPU. The right CPU will not only support the right operating system, but having enough threads or cores will definitely help you having faster NAS or server. When buying the right hardware for your devices, make sure that your hardware is up to date, or if not up to date, at least the softwares that you're using are up to date. Because if you use a software which is not updated since like a year or more, there are chances there will be bugs which will create further issues in future. You clearly want to avoid these issues because selecting an OS or a software which has not been updated or renewed or is dead, let's say, can create a lot of problems because in future, while there's a bug, there will be no community forum for you to support, for you to take support from. And similarly, there will be no other option than just quitting the operating system or software and starting up again with a new one. Thank you guys. These were my tips for you before you build your own NAS or a server. Just keep in mind these tips so that you build the perfect NAS or a server for your needs.